Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of the university, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of this land and to pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. I would also like to acknowledge the past injustices my ancestors and I may have enabled and to hope that through my words and my actions I can help to reconcile our differences for our shared future. My hugest and sincerest congratulations to you all today. Given the last 2 years, that really is no small feat, and I think you and we should be exceptionally proud of that. I've sat in your chair 4 times, as you've just heard. I know what it takes to sit in your chair, but I have no idea what it has taken you to sit in your chair this year. I do know, though, that congratulations is really not enough. It will not cover the immense effort and challenges that you've gone through, and that is, as I said, a huge effort in the COVID-inspired world. Congratulations doesn't cover the pain of the blisters on your fingertips from typing in the chat room during Q&A sessions. It doesn't cover the improved cognitive abilities that you've had to understand lectures played at chipmunk speed. Nor the sense of isolation of being in a virtual classroom with people you can't see and can't hear. Our trauma has been real, not virtual, and it is now a part of who we are and forever will be a part of who we are. Part of today is to celebrate all that we've been through, each and every single piece of it, the good stuff and the bad stuff. We have emerged stronger and better for the challenge, and you all now have a unique set of experiences that will help shape the world. I would now like you to sit back, relax, take a deep breath and do your best Darth Vader impersonation that you can through your mask as I share you a little bit about my story and to ask you what I think is the most annoying question you were ever asked as a child. Who do you want to be when you grow up? I, like many of you, am Tasmanian. I, like a few of you, grew up in regional Tasmania. I grew up in a town called Breadmore, which is in a part of Tasmania I call the Forgotten Coast. That is, the northeast of Tasmania. When I grew up, the job prospects were the 4 Fs: fishing, farming, forestry, and freeloading. I didn't know who I wanted to be then, but I knew I didn't want to be any of those. At the start of high school in grade 7, I thought I would be a submariner in the Australian Defence Force. In grade 9, I thought I would be a marine biologist. The end of grade 10, I thought I would be an accountant. Now, the accountant idea was not mine, it was from my dad. I was good at math. I knew how to use these new things called computers, and he thought being an accountant would be a good job and I would make lots of money. To put that into context, my mum and dad owned a small supermarket in a small country town and worked 362 days a year. They thought being an accountant would be better than that life. Now that might be true, but who grows up wanting to be an accountant? Who do I want to be when I grow up? When I was 15, I moved out of my family home to continue my education in Launceston, and then 2 years later I moved to Hobart to begin my university education. Now today that might not seem like anything significant, but at the time I'd been to Hobart 3 times for a total of 8 days. I had also spent an entire 4 days in Melbourne. That is in the 17 years of my life. And I moved to Hobart away from my family, my friends, and my support to undertake my education. I started out doing science because I enjoyed science, and law because I could. I did 2 years of that combined science and law degree. And then after the second year, I decided to focus on my science. I like to think I would have made quite a good lawyer, but the world doesn't need another lawyer, even if they're a good one. Who did I want to be when I grew up? I knew I wanted to be a research scientist in Tasmania. I am Tasmanian after all, but there isn't many jobs for us here. How could I get myself a job? I spoke to my PhD supervisor, and he told me I had to leave to be able to stay. And so that's what I did. I ended up working around the world as a professional scientist and embedding my life in their culture and their community. I got to experience the hospitality of the Deep South in the US, the neutrality of Switzerland and a language I didn't speak, and the hustle and bustle of a small startup company in London, one of the largest companies in the world. But who did I want to be when I grew up? While riding the trains in Switzerland to and from work, I wrote my first research proposal. This was funded and allowed me to return to the University of Tasmania and my home, and gave me the opportunity to develop a research portfolio to try and change the world. We wanted to make lab-on-the-go devices to be able to measure molecules in minutes everywhere. Some of the devices we've made don't work. Some of them work, but not well. Some of them work and are not useful. And some of them just might change the world. But still I asked, who do I want to be when I grow up? Today, I am a scientist, a teacher, a student. But I am more. I'm a child. I'm a parent. I'm a partner, a friend, a colleague, a stranger, and as of now, an occasional speaker. I am all of these things because I choose to be all of these things. I get to choose exactly who I want to be tomorrow and every other day after that. Just like you get to choose exactly who you want to be when you grow up. Age, race, gender, shoe size, hair colour, even your alma mater make no difference in who you get to choose, who you want to be when you grow up. So, who do you want to be when you grow up?